RC coupled amplifier. Here is the RC coupled amplifier. Here we use common emitter. Two stages of common emitter are used. Here is the stage 1 of the common emitter and here is the stage 2 of the common emitter. The two amplifiers are cascaded. The two stages are connected through a capacitor. What we do here is we feed the output of the first stage into the input of the second stage. So here we have our input capacitor. R1 and R2 are the voltage biasing resistors. We bias the transistor with DC voltage to make it work in the active mode region, because only the active mode transistor acts as an amplifier. Here we have emitter resistance Re and in parallel connected with common bypass emitter capacitor. Basically, use of emitter resistance is to provide stability. Sometimes what happens is the current gain factor beta of the transistor changes due to the voltage supply conditions or operating temperature conditions. So basically the role of emitter resistance is to provide stability and to stabilize the Q point, that is the DC operating point of the transistor. As the collector current here is very much dependent of beta, IC equal to beta IB, so it also reduces the influence of beta on IC, so that it works on the proper conditions of DC point. Here we have emitter bypass capacitor CE connected in parallel with the emitter resistance. Mainly the use of this capacitor is to achieve higher gain and to reduce distortion in signals. As we are interested for amplification of AC signals, the capacitor allows us to have a stable DC biasing current and maintaining a high gain. C in parallel with Re also serves to decrease the negative feedback and increasing the gain. High frequency signals will pass through the emitter resistor. High frequency signals will bypass the resistor and will flow through the capacitor because it follows the low reactance path. As we know, the reactance of capacitor is 1 upon 2 pi Fc. For high frequencies, the capacitor will have a low reactance path and the signals will follow this path. Any DC voltage will be blocked here and only AC voltage will pass through here. Now let's see what is the use of this coupling capacitor. First of all, it will only allow AC signals to pass through it. For DC voltages, we know capacitor acts as an open circuit because 1 upon 2 pi Fc is very large. So capacitor acts as an open circuit for DC voltages. So they only allow AC voltages to pass through them. So it isolates the DC biasing settings of the two stages and only allows AC signals to pass through it. Since there is a resistor in the collector here and a coupling capacitor connecting the two stages, so this amplifier is called an RC coupled amplifier. Now let's see how this circuit works. So now we have the same circuit as previous year with some specific values of resistances and capacitors. Here we have a voltage source generating a sinusoidal waveform. The signal goes from here and it goes through this capacitor and reaches here. Then some DC component adds to this AC signal. Now this signal enters the transistor and we get some output here. What we get here is 180 degree out of phase of the input signal. So it has some AC component and DC component also. The DC component has come from this voltage source. Now the signal goes from here to this coupling capacitor here. As we know, this coupling capacitor blocks the DC voltage. So the DC component in the signal that we received here will be get blocked by this capacitor. Only the AC signal will pass through this capacitor. So it blocks all the DC voltages, DC component, and now the AC component passes through it. Again the signal goes from here to here. Now this is connecting to biasing, DC biasing, some DC component again adds to the signal and it disturbs the pure waveform. Now this signal enters the second transistor here, and we observe that again we have some output in the collector. Again we have some output at the collector, and this output is 180-degree out of phase of the signal we received that was faded here, but actually it is 360-degree out of phase of the signal that was provided at the input initially. So the input signal here that we fed and the output what we are getting here are in same phase. Then we obtain the output at the collector, which again passes through this capacitor, and this capacitor, as we know, will block the DC voltage, DC component in it, and will only allow AC signal to pass through it. So here the signal what we obtain is in phase with the signal what we have given here as an input. Now let's see how is the output of this circuit. Here I set the output. So now here we see that at the output terminal we get a same waveform, same in the phase with the input signal, and of an amplitude of 100 millivolt. So our amplifier has a gain of 100, that is 100 millivolt upon 1 millivolt has a gain of 100. Let's see the input and output simultaneously. Here we see now this is the small input signal that we are providing, that is of amplitude 1 millivolt. It is just very small signal, and we are having the such big output here of 100 millivolt amplitude. So this RC coupled amplifier is a very useful amplifier, as it can amplify very small signals to such a great extent. We have only given 1 millivolts and it has amplified it to 100 millivolt. Now you have set the input voltage source value of amplitude 2 millivolt. Now we are getting the output of 200 millivolt, that is the gain is 100 now. Now we have seen how this amplifier actually works. Now let us say the gain of first stage be AV1 and the gain of second stage be AV2. Theoretically, the overall gain of the circuit should be the product of the individual gains, that is AV1 into AV2. But in practical, we observe that it is less than the product of individual stages. This happens because of mismatching of impedances of the two stages. Before I explain that, but before that, we must know when maximum power transfer takes place in a circuit. So we have a circuit here. This circuit will have maximum power transfer when Rs will be equal to RL. Only in this condition the circuit will have maximum power transfer. Same concept applies in the circuit we are observing. Impedance mismatching is also called loading effect. So there is a less overall gain because the effective load resistance of first stage is reduced due to shunt effect of input resistance of second stage. This reduces the gain of the stage which is loaded by the next stage. Like here, this is the first stage which is loaded by the second stage. As RC and the effect as RC will be parallel with the effective impedance of the second stage, it will produce it will produce effective load that is lesser than the value of RC. So because of this, the gain of the first stage is reduced. The gain of the first stage is reduced because of the loading effect of the second stage. Therefore, the overall gain AV1 into AVV2 is lesser than what we expect. Now let us look at the frequency response of the following circuit. Following figure shows the frequency response of an RC coupled amplifier. As it can be seen, voltage drop voltage clearly voltage gain drops for frequencies lower than 50 Hz and for frequencies greater than 20 kHz, whereas voltage gain is constant over this frequency range, that is from 50 Hz to 20 kHz. Here at low frequencies, that is less than 50 Hz, the reactance of coupling capacitor here is very high because Xc equal to 1 upon 2 pi Fc, and for very low frequencies, that is less than 50 Hz, the reactance of this capacitor is very high. So what will happen is very small part of the signal will pass through from first stage to the next stage. Moreover, what will happen here is the capacitor here will not be able to shunt the emitter resistance at very low frequency because of its large reactance. Then therefore it will not act as a bypass capacitor. These two factors cause a failing of voltage gain at low frequencies. Now let's see what happens for higher frequencies, that is for frequencies greater than 20 kHz. For high frequencies, the reactance of this coupling capacitor is very low and it behaves like a short circuit. As now the coupling capacitor is acting as a short circuit, this increases the loading effect of next stage. And again, because of this, the voltage gain of the first stage is reduced. Therefore, if we observe at high frequencies, there is a drop in voltage gain. Now, for mid-frequency range, that is from 50 Hz to 20 kHz, the voltage gain is constant throughout. The effect of coupling capacitor in this frequency range is such so as to maintain a constant voltage gain here. Thus, as frequency increases from 50 Hz to 20 kHz, the reactance of coupling capacitor decreases, which will result in an increased gain. But at the same time, lower reactance means higher loading effect of first stage, and hence will result in a lower gain. These two factors almost cancel each other and therefore result in a uniform gain for the mid-frequency range. So this is how our RC coupled amplifier responds to different frequency signals. Now let us look at the some of the advantages and disadvantages of the RC coupled amplifier. So here are the some of the advantages. It has a very good frequency response, and the gain is constant over the audio frequency range, that is from 5 Hz to 50 Hz to 20 kHz, and which is the region of most important for speech, music, etc. And as we have seen, the amplifier comprises of only capacitors and resistors, so it is very cheap to buy, and the circuit is very compact as the modern resistors and capacitors are very small and light. Most important here is this, that it has a constant voltage gain in the range of speech, that is music and speech and music, and moreover a very light and compact circuit to handle. It has some disadvantages too. So let's look at the disadvantages. As we have seen, because of the loading effect of the next stage, the voltage gain of the first stage is reduced. So in theoretical, that is, overall gain must be AV1 into AV2, but it is quite less than the overall gain, theoretically what we observed. One more disadvantage is reception of these amplifiers become poor with passage of time. Because of noise in the RC coupled amplifier, reception of these amplifiers become poor as time passes. Also, impedance matching is poor for a RC coupled amplifier. It is because the output impedance of RC coupled amplifier is several hundred ohms, whereas the input impedance of speaker is only a few ohms. We know that input impedance must be high and output impedance must be low. One major disadvantage is that for very low frequency signals, that is for less than 10 Hz, it causes some loss. So at that frequency we know it doesn't work as a good amplifier, and there is a drop of voltage gain in that range. Now let us look at some of the applications of the RC coupled amplifier. RC coupled amplifiers have excellent audio fidelity over a wide range of frequency. As we have seen, it has a very good constant voltage gain over the audio frequency range, that is from 50 Hz to 20 kHz. Therefore, they are widely used as voltage amplifiers or in the initial stages of public address system. They are also used in RF communications, optical fiber communications, and widely used in public address systems as preamplifiers. They are also used as controllers. They are widely used to amplify audio signals, and also they are used for radio or TV receivers as small signal amplifiers. Uh, as we have cascaded two stages in our amplifier, and we have seen that the input and output are in the same phase, we get the amplified signal of what we have given at the input and with the same phase as the input. But when we use the odd number of stages, that is 1, 3, 5, etc., the output signal is 180 out of phase of the input signal and is inverted from the input. So these are some of the applications of the RC coupled amplifier. Thank you.